Hello everybody, my name is Sniping as Fun, and I welcome you all back to the 93rd character in this long-running series of various newcomer ideas talking about newcomer ideas for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I've done 92 characters so far. I've been doing this series since the initial teaser trailer of Smash Bros. Ultimate, Smash Bros. 5, before we even knew that it was to be called Ultimate, when they did the whole Inkling, seeing the dark, shadowy, evil, demonic, flaming Smash logo in the distance. I've been doing these videos long time, almost more than half of this year, and it's getting there. I think I now have a limit I want to put on my list. I'm not going to tell you guys yet. I'm still working out the details. But till then, we are on character number 93, and as I mentioned in the last video, this video right here, my 93rd character is going to be me talking about a character from another character from Sega. Lately, I've been doing Sega characters. That's kind of the funny thing, but I don't really care. Sega has a lot of awesome franchises that are not named Sonic. And one of them is a character from a long-range series, Sakura Wars, or in Japan, Sakura Taisen. I hope I pronounced that right. I'm sorry if I didn't. And that belongs to Sakura, I hope I'm pronouncing this name right, Sakura Shinguji. This entire video I'm just going to call her Sakura for, ease of reasons, and I don't have to keep, saying the name over and over again. But, yeah, Sakura Shinguji from, which I'm sure I'm pronouncing it right, from the Sakura Wars franchise. And like always, before this intro gets too out of hand, 3 different categories. Why does the character make sense for Smash Bros? Moveset ideas, and percentage chance I can actually see them getting included in the game. Sakura, why does Sakura Wars deserve to be represented in the series? First and foremost, I'm going to talk about the Sakura Wars franchise. Why does Sakura Wars deserve to be the next Sega franchise represented? Not, Virtual Fighter or, Streets of Rage or Yakuza. Why Sakura Wars? Well, Sakura Wars is is one of their franchises that have been around quite a long time. It's not as old as Sonic or the other Sega Genesis, Sega Master System type franchises, but it's been around since the Saturn. The first game was in 1996 on the Sega Saturn, and it's had numerous games since then. 5 of them, in fact. And there's a 6th one on the way, so it's going to be a new game coming out next year in 2019. It's had 5 games since 1996. It's been around for 22 years, and next year a 6th game is coming out. And it's also not the most popular Sega franchise. Obviously, that's basically Yakuza and Sonic, but it is a fairly popular franchise. It's in the same boat as a Streets of Rage or a Monkey Ball or anything else from them. One of these other franchises that they have that are not named Sonic or Yakuza, which are their top 2 most popular franchises, it's basically a Valkyria Chronicles, a Streets of Rage, a Monkey Ball, Alex Kidd, Shenmue. It is one of their top franchises, but it's not at the top. It's in the top range, and it is fairly popular, especially in Japan, and it's just a well-loved franchise in the gaming industry as a whole, and there's a new game coming out, so the series is going to continue. I didn't actually do any research in this new game. I don't know if it's going to be coming to Switch, PS4, Xbox One, or if it's going to be a mobile game or anything, but there is a new game that I've seen online is coming out next year. So the series is going to continue, and the last game we got back in 2008, so it's been a while since the series has had entry, and now it's going to get a new one. And it has had appearances on Nintendo. Sakura Wars, while most of them have been on Sega per se, the franchise's last games, Sakura Wars 5, Sakura Wars So Long My Love, appeared not only on the PS2 but on the Nintendo Wii. So the franchise has its roots starting to grow in Nintendo. So not only is it one of Sega's most popular franchises, and it's basically an iconic franchise in the gaming industry. It's been around since the mid-90s, and it's well beloved for the most part, especially in Japan. It has roots growing on Nintendo, and future games could come to Nintendo. They can make a collection, for all we know, and start putting these games on the eShop, these older Saturn games and whatnot. So, there's that. And then Sakura specifically, why would I pick Sakura? She's basically the mascot of the series. She's the original main female lead character. In the older games, she wasn't the main character because you always played as Ichiro. There was this main male character in the first couple games that he plays Ichiro. And basically, okay, first and foremost, before I go any further, for those of you that don't know what exactly Sakura Wars is, it's basically a strategy RPG mecha combat type game with Imperial forces that wield giant mecha to save the world from different parts of the Earth in the world, and it's a dating sim. So you play each chapter in the game, each stage in the game. You do a dating sim part. You talk to the people. You're a main male character. It's almost like a harem. You basically your cohorts, your team is full of women, full of girls, and you make relationships with them, and then you work together, and it helps you in the battling and the combat and wielding these giant mechs and strategizing around the map to fight the enemy. Think Fire Emblem if they had mechs. There you go. And they had dating sim parts too, which quite frankly some of them kind of do have lately. But yeah, think of it like that. Up to speed, there you go, whatever. But yeah, Sakura is basically the main original female character and is one of Ichiro's eligible girlfriend wives in the earlier games. And she's like the lead female character of her team, which is basically the Imperial capital of Tokyo. So their team is the Tokyo branch of this world defending group of mecha type defending group type thing. I have no idea. I've only played one game in the series, and that was the So Long My Love, So Sakura Wars 5. So I haven't really got a chance to play the old ones yet. I would love to if they come to a newer system. But yeah, she's the original main female character. She is pretty much the mascot for the series. The series is practically named after her. Sakura Shinguji. I'm going to pronounce Sakura Wars, Sakura Tyson. Sakura. The series is practically named after her. So, she's basically the mascot of the series. And she's also been in crossovers. I said the same thing with Kazuma from Yakuza, Axel Stone from Streets of Rage. And I did those characters just recently, like last week. Streets of Rage, Yakuza. There was this big, there was Project Cross Zone. You know who also was in the Project Cross Zone series and it has crossed over at least one of them? Sakura Wars. Not only was it Gemini Sunrise from the newest game, Sakura was one of the playable characters in that series too. And she was in that crossover, same as Axel Stone and same as, Kazuma Kiryu from Yakuza. That series it's a crossover. Her franchise is now crossed over, and I know it's crossed over with other things too. I just forgot them. I didn't really do all the research, but I remember years ago seeing some other crossovers with her, with other Sega franchises and other franchises and whatnot. But she was in Project Cross Zone, which is another appearance of Sakura Wars on the Nintendo brand. Like I said, the plant is growing. These games can come to the eShop. New games can still come to Nintendo. It's there, and it's one of their more popular franchises. So yes, Sakura Wars and Sakura Shinguji, I believe, deserve to be in Smash Brothers. Now, moveset ideas. Now, I know when you look at this picture and you see what she's wielding, you're all gonna go cry to your mothers about another sword user because, oh boy, we can't have more sword users in this game. It's an overused weapon when in fact, throughout history, like I said, a lot of people use swords. It's been a major thing in multiple wars thousands of years ago. It's a popular weapon. It's a basic choice for a soldier back in medieval times in feudal Japan and everything. So yeah, there you go. And her games take place in the early 20th century, so 1920s range. So it's starting to be early before World War II type settings. Yeah, swords were still kind of relevant back then. So yes, she uses a sword. However, I think I found a way to make her semi-unique and different from a Link or a Marth or an Ike or a Robin or a Corrin or a Pit or a Meta Knight or a Shulk or whoever the heck else. Okay, she is a samurai, so we don't have a samurai character yet, and obviously Takamaru has been deconfirmed. He's already an assist trophy again. So, he's basically it's going to be a samurai sword fighting style, which we don't have yet. The smash attacks are very much, just swinging her katana around, swinging her sword around. And attacking, and attacks that also can knock opponents up in the air. So it's basically just, but this is the thing though. It's gonna be, she's not gonna have her sword automatically out. She's gonna have it in her hilt, in the sheath. The sheath part of the katana. She's always gonna walk around holding like this, and then when she comes out to attack, it's going to be like Monado on Shulk's back. He doesn't wield the sword until you tell him to press A and B and attack opponents. That's the only time he pulls his sword off his back and attacks them. So she's going to run around pretty much like a little stealthy ninja samurai and push it away. So that's going to be at least somewhat different, at least in terms of animation And obviously how you wield a katana is different than how you would wield like other types of swords, so her sword strikes will be at least semi-different. The special attacks are where she's more elemental and stuff like that, and I'm kind of basing it off not her moveset not entirely off of the Sakura Wars games per se, because most of the Sakura Wars games, when they fight, they're in their mecha suits battling giant monsters and stuff like that. Even though she wields her katana in different cutscenes in the games and different storyline elements, she does attack opponents with her sword in the the dating sim part. Most of the combat in the games is in the mecha. I did do a good chunk of research on trying to base my moveset not only off the Sakura Wars games, but also off of Project Cross Zone, where you see more of her samurai abilities come out. So basically, she's able to shoot like energy waves and energy blasts out of her sword. She pulls out, she's like, and then this giant like energy beam just comes out of her sword, like this ground wave, and like in the air, like slicing through the air and slicing on the ground. Like she can shoot energy waves, beams, stuff out of her sword. So that's gonna be part of her special attack. She also could do elemental stuff like wind and fire. And I don't mean turning her sword into fire. She engulfs herself in flames and she starts jumping around, start attacking in fire and being able to engulf herself in wind and attack opponents. So she can basically set opponents on fire or push them back and damage them with wind. So that's going to be kind of like her special attacks. Very elemental stuff. Energy beams, energy waves, fire, and wind-based sword attacks. I think that's at least unique enough to be accompanying her moveset as a samurai to at least diversify her up a little bit. And now the final smash. And I had to represent this because, well, this is the main bulk of the gameplay in the actual game. Like, her moveset's more so based off around Project Cross Zone. Her final smash is based off the Sakura Wars games, and I'm including the mecha. It's going to be the Imperial Capital Tokyo Force mecha suits. She's going to slice forward, attack her opponents, cause a cutscene. She changes into her gear. Unless you want to make that a costume. I don't know. I would like to see, because there's this is her samurai, like, kimono type outfit, and then she has like this like military pink uniform type outfit. And if you've played the Project Cross games, or if you've played Sakura Wars or seen the anime or other media with the characters, you know exactly what I'm talking about when she gets into her military pink gear. Like, maybe that could be an alternate costume as well. But she jumps into it. She calls forth the entire Imperial Force Tokyo, the Imperial Capital Tokyo, which there's different members here, and I would like to read them off, and it's going to be Sniping Fun tries to pronounce names again, because a lot of these names are Japanese. So let's see. As aforementioned, Ichiro Ogami, Sumari Kanzaki, Iris, Chateaubrand, Ri Kohan, Kana Kirishima, Orihime Soleta, Reni Milasabre, and Maria Tachibana. I think I did a good job on those. She calls them forth. They all get in their giant mecha suits. She jumps into her mecha suits, and they engulf the stage with beam, gun, swords, slashing, demonic attack force. Defend Sakura. And opponents get set flying off the stage. There you go. That's her final smash. So it's going to be like the Imperial Capital Tokyo Force Mecha Strike or something, whatever the heck you want to call it. So I represent her samurai self and her mecha self. And there you go. So let's talk about the third category. Percentage chance I can actually see her getting in. It's not the highest for a Saiga character, but it's not low either, because I do think there is room to put her in the game. I'm going to give her a 35% chance, which is probably one of the lowest I gave a Sega character, because I gave higher percentages to Axel Stone from Streets of Rage, Kazuma Kiryu from Yakuza. There's other Sega franchises I think that deserve it before Sakura Wars does, but Sakura Wars is also a Sega franchise that deserves it more than, like, Kid Chameleon or, stuff like that. Like, I'd say maybe you have Valkyria Chronicles, Fantasy Star, Virtual Fighter, Streets of Rage, Yakuza. Those franchises all, I think, deserve it before Sakura Wars does, and they're more likely, more higher percentage to join Sonic as the next Sega character. But she's higher up. She's like that mid-ground. She's higher than, like, Kid Chameleon. She's higher than Monkey Ball or, Billy Hatcher in the Giant Egg, which is a one-time game, and I'm still surprised people even recommend that he stands a chance to get in this game at all. It hasn't been seen since GameCube, But she's there. The franchise is a long-running, iconic one. It's not as iconic as the Sega Genesis type franchises. It's not as iconic as Streets of Rage or Sonic and whatnot, and it's older than, Yakuza, but Yakuza has become like a mainstream, super popular niche type big deal for Sega, selling really well. It's just the middle ground. Like, she's below the top franchises that are more likely to get in, but she's above a good crap ton of Sega franchises. She's in that middle ground. She's likely, but not super likely. And if this new game does come to Nintendo Switch, that might raise the percentage up a little bit, but I think 35% is pretty decent overall. So there you go. So that's it for Sakura Wars from Sakura Shinguji from Sakura Wars. I hope you guys liked the video. Put in the comments if you guys want to see a Sakura Wars character. Have you ever even played a Sakura Wars game? Because, quite frankly, I've only played So Long My Love, which is Sakura Wars 5 on the PS2 and the Wii. And it was a fun game, and I'd like to go back and play the old ones. I'm looking forward and kind of interested that I heard there's a new one coming out, so I'm keeping an eye on that, especially if it's a good game and not hopefully a mobile one. But yeah, like, put in the comments, do you think it should be represented? Do you think it should be a next Sega franchise? Or at least maybe not the next one, but the one after one. Maybe they do Streets of Rage and Yakuza first, and then put Sakura Wars and Smash Bros. Like 6 or something, or DLC or whatever. Put in the comments below, does Sakura make sense? Is that the franchise makes sense? Would you pick someone else from the franchise? Does my reasons make sense? Your reasons? My moveset idea is good. What would you change? Is 35% too high, too low? Put it down below and we discuss it there. And stay tuned for when I do character number 94, when it's going to be a double hitter, when I talk about some iconic beat-em-up characters in the gaming industry, when I do both Billy and Jimmy Lee from a Double Dragon. See you all later. Oh, and also, I don't think you want to make Segato Senshiro actually angry with not including Sakura, because that's technically his girlfriend. So, unless you want to get your ass kicked by Segato Senshiro, put him in Nintendo, put him in Sakurai, and you guys all should say so too. So, goodbye.